Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Josh here. I hope you all are doing well. Today I'm addressing articles A and the because I've had many questions from students who keep coming across the same problems during our lessons. In our chat group on Telegram, we do tasks, we have conversations, all the students and me, and we have this little community going. But everybody keeps making the same mistakes with A and the. Today, I would like to address these problems. So I've made some notes, got some good visuals for you, some easy ways to, just steer you down the right path and understand when to use a or an, or when to use the, or when to use no article. So by the end of this, we should be able to take your English and take it from here, from this level, and boom, you should feel up here after this. Not only your English, but your confidence when you speak too. Because if you're not always questioning what you're thinking about, you're going to speak much more clearly, and people are going to understand you much better too, right? It won't be as much confusion. So let's get to it. All right. So first of all, we have indefinite articles. An indefinite article meaning a or an. And both of these words mean one of something, okay? An indefinite article is something which is just a usual object. It's undefined, it's not unique, it's not specific, nothing like that. So I can say like what? This is a book, right? I mean, this is a book. And this is a book. There's books everywhere in the world, so it's a book. If I defined it, I would say, well, here's a book and a book, but the blue book is about Viking mythology, and the brown book is about the history of Angkor Wat in Cambodia. Okay? So just in general, A and M, undefined, no meaning to it. Alright, so the key thing is one of something, as I said. Okay, so like, he has a job. A job, it's singular form, so you use a job, and it's countable. 1 job, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs, right? Now, if he has 2 jobs, we do not use the article here because it's in plural form, and a or an means one of something. Okay, it's like what? I have an aunt who lives very far from me. I have an aunt, one aunt. Now, I have 2 aunts who live very far from me. Now, aunts, that's plural form, no article here, right? Now, let's take a look at the word a few, right? So, I have a few friends in Vietnam. Okay, I have some. That's what that means. Now, if I remove article a and I just say, I have few friends in Vietnam, that means not enough. So removing that article changes the meaning completely. The same goes true for a little, but a little is only used with uncountable objects. So in my pocket, I have a little money, meaning I have some money. If I say I have little money, I don't have enough. So removing article A from these words, few and little, means there's a deficit of something, has a negative feeling, connotation, and it's, just like not enough of something, as simple as that. Okay, so now let's understand, like, what's the difference between a and n? There are 2 different words, but they have the same function. So, we use a when the next word begins with a consonant sound. Like, I ate a banana with my breakfast, okay? And I watched a movie yesterday evening. Those are consonant sounds. What's a consonant? A consonant is a letter such as B, D, F, G, H, R, S, T, and so on. Many consonants. It's easier for me to tell you just what the vowels are in English because we use A with consonants and we use an with vowel sounds. So the vowels in English are A, E, I, O, and U, okay? So the key thing here is a vowel sound, because sometimes a word will begin with a consonant letter, however, that consonant sound might not be pronounced. It might be a silent letter. So I can say like, hey, I have a meeting in an hour from now. An hour. Hour is spelled H-O-U-R, but we don't pronounce it hour, we pronounce it ah, hour, vowel sound, right? So I ate an omelet with my breakfast, and I always take an umbrella with me on the streets, vowels, okay? Okay, another thing about articles, people get confused when we use them and when we don't use them. So, if the word is uncountable, we're not going to use a or and. So if it's an uncountable object and it's undefined, no article. A word like knowledge, knowledge is power. So knowledge is uncountable. We don't say a knowledge and knowledge. We don't say knowledge is in general. Very important. People always make this mistake. Or information is the same idea. Information is uncountable. So there's only two choices here with uncountable words. No article or the. Right now we're talking about a and an though. So one more thing about a and an. When we use possessive adjectives, what's that? Or what are those? Possessive adjectives are words such as like my, his, her, and so on. We don't use articles before possessive adjectives. The possessive adjective replaces the article. So I could say, this is a phone, right? Or I could say, this is my phone, but not a my phone, my a phone, nothing like that, all right? It's my phone, it's the phone, it's a phone. That's how that works. So as I've previously mentioned, we use article the when the object is defined, it's unique, it's specific, or it's famous, and of course, many, many exceptions. So what? I showed you these books earlier, right? I said this is a book, this is a book, and this is a book. Now if we look at these three books, there's only one which is blue. So I say the blue book is about Viking mythology. The red book is about unsolved mysteries, and the brown book is about history, right? I used this example a bit earlier. So when we define something to show that it's different from the rest, that's when we use article the. Important too is that it's like when something is unique within a territory, like let's say my flat, my apartment, I have one kitchen in my apartment. So, there's many kitchens in the world, but here we're talking about the specific territory of my flat. And I asked my wife, hey, have you seen my glasses? She said, oh yeah, in the kitchen. There's one kitchen, right? Okay, so famous places are often described using the. So like the Statue of Liberty, the Pyramids of Egypt, the Great Wall of China, the Taj Mahal, and so on. However, there are many famous places, world wonders, where we don't use article the. I mean, that could be like what? Windsor Castle, Petra, Stonehenge. And there's nothing which tells you which of these places uses the and which of these doesn't. It's one of those things that you just have to learn over time, through practice, through studying, and eventually you remember these things. One rule to remember is like, think about the construction, it's object of subject pattern. So like, the Statue of Liberty, the Pyramids of Egypt, the Great Wall of China. That object of subject pattern always requires an article. So of course, the object is defined, we use article the. If it's just like one of many, like a number of people, people, many, many people. We don't know what people, a number of, just simply a lot. We use article a here, or maybe use an if it's a vowel, okay. So yeah, that pattern always requires an article. City names. Do we use the with city names? Do I live in Saigon or do I live in the Saigon? I live in Saigon. I grew up in the Muskegon or I grew up in Muskegon. I grew up in Muskegon. We don't use article the with city names. There are two exceptions because they're unique places. The first one is called The Hague. The second one is called the Vatican, which is actually a city-state. Okay, so geographical references, a very common theme here is if it's referenced as a group, we use the, and the singular unique place is not, it's not so unique, we don't use the. So let's say about mountains. Mount Everest is a part of the Himalayas. The Himalayas is a group of mountains. So a singular mountain, we do not use the, but there's one exception, and that is called the Matterhorn. When we reference a group of islands, like I used to live on the Hawaiian Islands, a group of islands, we use the. A singular island, no article. However, if the island has the word isle in it, which is spelled I-S-L-E, which means island too, we have to use the with that construction. It's like the Isle of Skye, the Isle of Man. And there's specific names of islands, but again, we have that object of subject construction, right? Okay, lastly not least, groups of lakes. Now, let's see, I grew up near the Great Lakes. A group of lakes, it's Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, and Lake Superior. So a singular lake we never use the with. A group of lakes we do use the. Okay, moving on. Deserts. Desert names, yes, we do use the. The Gobi Desert, the Sahara Desert, the Nairobi Desert, use the. We look at the sky, it's pretty sunny out right now, very nice day. I see the sun. Why? We only have one here that we can see on Earth with our naked eye. So it is the sun and the moon. Okay, so now other bodies of water, not including lakes, we always use the. So oceans, seas, rivers, straits, gulfs, bays, we use the. The Pacific Ocean, the Mekong River, the Straits of Gibraltar, and so on. We always use the. Alright, enough of a geography lesson, right? We're studying English here. So a few more things about article the, and we will call it quits for the day. Now, when you ask a question about a specific place, we use the. Like, what is the name of the city where you were born? Who is the person to ask for advice? In those questions, we're asking for specific details about a concrete place or a concrete person. So then we use the in the question. Also, when we use the word only in a sentence, only means one. It means it's unique within the context. So, I am the only boy of all of my siblings, okay? Now, he is the only child in his family. We always use the with the word only, okay? And also, when we use superlative form in English, superlative form requires that we begin that comparison with the word the. Like, she is the most beautiful woman I have ever seen. He is the smartest person in his class. Stuff like that, we always use the, okay? Well, a lot of information today, right? I mean, this is not everything about articles, but these are some things for you to think about right now. Some easy principles to, help fix some of those mistakes that you're making. Now, on the website, on my website specifically, there are some exercises that you can practice. You can take what I've taught you here today and apply this new knowledge and do some exercises and check yourself on this, okay? Now, if you have any questions, feel free to get a hold of me. Contact me through my website or on WhatsApp, well, that is through my website, or on Instagram or Skype. If you're interested in studying English, please get a hold of me. I'll be happy to work with you. Hey, I live in Vietnam. You can live anywhere in the world and we can connect by the internet and you can improve your English with me from wherever you are. So let's get to it, and I will see you next time. Peace.